unless I know that I could potentially buy two. Last week I went to Maranello to see the F80, and I've been saying F80 all along. It just makes sense, you know, F40, F50, and it was 70 for the LaFerrari, and so this 80 makes sense. So I looked at it, and I always knew, of course, the supercar, or the hypercars, you know, now it's like people like to say, is the most, you know, the highest level of technology and performance, because they bring a lot from F1 into the road cars. So being that it was V6, twin turbo, 3 electric motors, producing total of 1,200 horsepower, which produced more than 1,000 that the LaFerrari had, well, it makes sense, right? The interactive wing, you know, to have it, it's really more about aerodynamic, to get faster, you know, it's aerodynamic. So the way the whole chassis is built, and then with the wing, the intake, and all that stuff is designed in a way that's very aerodynamic to make it go faster. And then the seats being kind of the driver one a little bit more forward, and the passenger is back, so it's what they call +1. From the looking wise, right? You see, of course, the front has a Daytona-ish front, and in the side I see the Enzo and F40 type of, you know, vents and shape, because it's more square instead of more round, the body. The wing, you can kind of see a little bit of F40 or F50-ish kind of, you know, wing type of design in there. So so I think you know, it goes to a little bit of you know, kind of paying homage to some of the cars of the past. Now the thing that is very interesting, that is different than before, you know, when the Enzo came out, looked nothing like something before. When the LaFerrari came out, looked nothing like before. So the fact that this F80 is paying homage and having characteristics of the ones that passed is a little bit of a departure. Also, producing 799 is also a little bit of a departure, because the LaFerrari was 499. So now there's a big jump of 300 extra. I think overall the strategy is a little different, but it's a phenomenal car. I like it. You know, I saw it in red. They had a special red color that was new. They also had a yellow color with kind of a racing motif on it. So I like it. You know, I want to get two, you know, if I could. And I think it's going to be a fantastic car. It's going to probably take to 2026, maybe beginning of that to get one. I also believe they can make a Perta, so they may make a Perta with lower numbers. I don't know how many, but on the next round. So that's how I feel about that. You know, obviously I want a coupe and then a spider, right? A Perta, and I want them in different colors. So, but if I was to just get a coupe, where would I go with that? You know, I may do, to be safe bet, I might do yellow first in coupe. And then if I have another opportunity, then to get red, because red would be more available after. So that's probably, you know, unless I know that I could potentially buy two, I can secure two, then you know. But if not, if just one, and then maybe a Perta, then I can get another color. I think strategically, yellow would be tougher to get, and red would be more available. Again, you know, in the supercar family, right, their hypercar family, the design usually are out of this world. It's usually very forward-thinking. It impacts, you know, the next generation. And the car is designed to be really futuristic, where it's not the norm of today, the pop culture or the design of today, but it's meant to be for the next generation, next 10 years. So usually it's very forward in design. And so that's why when the Enzo came out, people were like, man, well, that was such a big departure from the F50. How can, you know, and that was when Pininfarina, I think Ken, I forgot the last name, the very famous designer from for Art Center, had designed that from that when it was still contracted to Pininfarina. So the Enzo was just really out there, you know. But then afterwards, people loved it. It's iconic and it's great, right? I remember when the LaFerrari came out, people were like, wow, man, I don't know if I like it. It's just all these different shapes and scoops and everything. You know, it was also not sure, right? Because people were thinking back from the Enzo, right? But then after a while, people love it, right? It's just, right now, who doesn't love the LaFerrari? So I think it's a little bit of that. It takes a little to get used to. the design should be a little forward thinking. Although on this one, I don't see it as forward thinking because they're doing a lot of tributes and a lot of areas from the Enzo and F40, right, and F50 and Daytona. So they're going back and pulling different design elements from the past model to put in the new one. So I don't know. It needs a little time to absorb it to really get a feeling of it. Thanks for watching, guys. I have a new car coming, so stay tuned and check it out.